So all of them have a policy, but the morality is missing. And I always say that the legal code is not as important as the moral code, because the moral code is more higher and more important than the legal code. But when the moral code is not followed, the legal code kicks in. And somewhere the moral code has been forgotten, that men and women are equal. Nobody is above or below. So I find this entire fight of women equality very bizarre. Because why should women be fighting for equality? They are probably as equal or maybe more than equal than men. And the reason I say this is because whether it's men sitting in temples and ashrams, or men sitting in corporate India, or men sitting in organizations, they talk about respect for women, but they don't practice it, they don't live it. And fundamental duty number 5, I won't even ask how many of you know the fundamental duties of India, because I know the answer. Do you? Any of you? I'll ask questions, seriously. So the fundamental duty number 5 of the Indian Constitution says, renounce practices to the renounce practices which are derogatory to the dignity of women. Now when we don't know it, how will it happen? Every practice in this blessed country is derogatory to the dignity of women. And I say this loudly, try disagreeing with me on that. We celebrate Women's Day on 8th March, and I wrote a piece this time for Business World, and I see Business World is one of your partners, and I said, why are we celebrating Women's Day? I find that very patronizing and condescending to women. Because Women's Day should be celebrated every day. And yet you have gurus and people who call themselves godmen, and I'll name them. Sadhguru, who says that women should not go into the sanctum sanctorum of a temple, because a woman cannot withstand that power of the sanctum sanctorum. Sadhguru forgets that is the woman who gives birth to a child, not a man. So if a woman can bear that pain, she can bear the power of any sanctum sanctorum. Now, the other thing I find very bizarre is that when I speak about respect for women, and I'm going to just touch on the topic why I'm speaking about this, and then tell you some couple of stories of women, not my wife, but some women who are very powerful and doing extraordinary things. One of them is sitting right in front of you. Her name is Shubha. She's featured in my book called Karma Kari, book 2. And a very interesting journey. I'm sure you've heard her story. Whenever I speak about respect for women, I work a lot with women who've been victims and survivors of domestic violence and marital rape. I'm always told, Jerry, don't speak about this to us. We are educated men, whether it's my friends in Bombay or my friends in Gurgaon where I stay now, or my cousins and friends in Goa where I was born, or my wife's cousins and friends in Punjab. They say, you should speak about this to people in UP and Bihar and Rajasthan. And I'm like, okay, let me understand this. So you say because you are educated, you respect women. So what does respecting women mean? Opening a car door or pulling a chair? They say, no, we are educated. We know how to treat women well. We know how to treat them with respect. And I'm okay, let's test this. Did you give half your property, your ancestral property, to your sister? No, right? Because as my cousin, I remember, when my cousin sister was to be given half a property, you said to her, I'm giving you, so be happy with what you're getting. And my question to you is, who the hell are you to give? It's her birthright. She has equal right in that ancestral property. That's what the morality is, and that's what the legality is today. But yet, you did not give her an equal right. So here's my big question to you. You say you're educated and you respect women. If you don't respect your sister, how can you respect any other woman? And this is a problem not of Goa. It also happens in Goa, but this is a problem across India. Goa followed the Portuguese legal code, so the law was equal for women and men from 1961 when we got liberated. But 10 years later, it was a law which was uniform across India, and yet men don't give equal right in their ancestral property to the women, and then they say they respect women. There was a movie called Dil Dhadakne Do, and I'm told that Farhan Akhtar deliberately put a scene in the movie with this Ivy League educated boy called Rahul Bose, who's acting a role in the movie, and he says in the movie, in my family, for 2 generations before me, women working was not allowed and not heard of. I have allowed my wife to work. So you can put the boy in Ivy League, but you can't get the feudalism out of him. You can't get the male chauvinism out of him. So an education does not teach you how to respect women. I think it's the family, it's the school, and it's the society which teaches you how to respect women. And unfortunately in our society, I think every time we have a rape, we come out and we talk and we go on to social media and we talk about rape. And then we say we hang the rapists. But if we really want rapes to stop, I think we need to teach our men and women how to respect women, because women also don't respect women. The highest incidence of female feticide is in South Delhi and South Bombay, in elite educated homes. And the reason I say we need to teach men and women how to respect men is because the rapes on the street are the same percentage as the United States or Europe or London or even Scandinavian countries, which are more progressive democracies. But the bigger problem of India is not the rapes on the street, it's the rapes in the homes. And if we start killing men and hanging men who rape women, we'll probably have to do away with 60% of the Indian men. Because 60% of rapes in India happen in homes. They're called marital rapes, and they're not even registered legally. One such hero in my life with whom I closely work, her name is Rashi, and she was a victim of domestic violence and marital rape. And we're actually kind of featuring in a book called Karishma the Miracle. I think the bell's gone off, we don't have time, but 5 minutes is too less for me to speak because it's a very important topic. But I hope I made you think and you got some insights about gender parity and the lack of gender parity in India. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jerry, for getting to the heart of the matter and having us just hold our breaths for a moment, because I think we need these reminders more often than not, every day, all the time, every moment. Thank you so much for getting to the crux of it. With that, we'd like to begin with our award ceremony this afternoon, and it's my absolute honor to invite Mr. Sanjeev Mehra, our guest of honor for this session, and we'd like to felicitate him with an award on behalf of the All Ladies League as an Exceptional Leader of Excellence 2017 at the Women Economic Forum. Congratulations, sir. Thank you. Calling on Rashi Menda, founder and CEO of Zabail. Naya, Mondo. We congratulate you. Can you put our hands together? This doesn't happen every day. Jerry Almeida. We're also presenting a little token of our affection to his wife, Jugnu, who is an entrepreneur in her own right, and she wanted to be here, but she couldn't. We send this award for her in her honor. So congratulations to you and your wife. Inviting Rohit, Raj and Vandini Mehta, the Power Pack duo, to accept their honor as Exceptional Leaders of Excellence. Archana, Priyadarshini, please accept the award as an Exceptional Woman of Excellence. Our last lovely awardee for this morning is Lavlin Thadani. I'd request the panelists to please step up for a group photograph so we can capture this moment